test. My microphone got unselected in OBS again. All right, you know what? Man. That's fine. Let's lock everything to see if that helps. Because that makes no sense why that didn't happen. So y'all missed me saying my normal thing. Happy lunchtime. Yeah, I don't know how that got turned off. Like, it just randomly did that. I don't touch any settings when I turn on OBS. They stay the same. So let's see if me locking everything will stop it from doing that. So what I was saying was this morning, instead of logging on like I had the last couple days, I watched the live letter for Final Fantasy XIV, which all it really did was recap what we've been told prior
The wind knows me.
to obviously the expansion coming out and the media tour. The only difference is that Yoshi P did show off a couple things. He showed off a cute little like cheetah minion that reminds me of the Byakuya cub, super adorable. A llama, I think, alpaca, llama mount, which was kind of neat. There looked like there was like another flying mount kind of, and every mount can fly, but I say it this way because it literally is like wings on your back when you're flying around. So that was kind of cool. He showed off the first raid boss from the 8-man.
No, my sword. Sketch.
And I was also on my main, and I just wanted to do all hate them. So I literally was just like, well, how am I doing this? Where the hell's Nahida? What else did he show off? One of the trials, he showed off, I don't remember what they're calling it in 14, but if you play the original version of Final Fantasy VI, it was, Tritok. So, looking forward to that, just because I love FF6. That's my favorite Final Fantasy. Where are you? There you are. So yeah, he showed off a couple of things like that. I'm really, really looking forward to the double dying system. Because it looked really good with what he showed off. Of course, not everything's going to be dieable like that at the start. So everything... Oh dear! Do you see my ping? Why are you so bad? Holy shit! Well, this might not go very well. Just saying. I don't know why my ping is like I'm all the way doing the Asia server. Hi, Brian. How you doing? But yeah, my goal for Dawn Trail probably will start with Glamour. If I can get my original Bard Glamour that I had with the trench coat and everything looking pretty spiffy, I might use that for Dawn Trail.
Into the wind.
Crush.
That was messed up, man. I don't know why my ping was so high. On a call currently, so lurking extra hard.
More
Okay. I don't know why I'm running. I probably should be teleporting. Where are you? I'll probably go down from here.
More speed.
And again, to recap, my week of Beto got pushed up a week early, and we built her, or leveled her rather, in the past like 3 days. Because she actually had her artifacts already on her for the At least the stat builds have the whole set. We won't worry about substats immediately. She just has a set that she can use. We got her weapon. Her weapon can be leveled, and we will level it. Probably today. We'll probably do that after we do this.
More speed. More speed.
Well, apparently I missed one. Whoops. You on that side? Can't tell. Oh, it's the treasure hoarder one. Okay, I know what this one is.
Time to go.
So yeah, Beto's pretty much all set. Talents will be the only other thing that we have to worry about, but we're constantly going to be needing guys to gold.
Another test subject.
One with nature.
No, my sword. Shut up.
Because anyone want a taste of my hammer? That tingle?
Into the wind.
I don't know, you
Beg
tell
for
me.
mercy.
Did it?
Replace my hammer.
And that should be all of them. Yay! I do got to keep an eye on the time because it was 12:40, I think, when I did the artifact on this one. Internet kind of sucks today. I had no problem when I was watching the live letter. Like, I didn't notice anything like drop or buffer or anything like that. And when I was on my main, it didn't do anything like that I noticed anyway. Although it might have. It actually might have. I didn't notice any like the red going to the yellow or the red, the ping. But I had a heck of a time changing characters at one point, and I know it's been a little scuffy when trying to switch between characters lately,
Extra fee for that.
but this was extra bad to the point where it almost killed Kuki.
Ad Astra Abyssal.
And let's be real,
Thank you
Kuki
for
almost kills
completing
herself
today's
anyway.
commissions. Here is your reward.
I meant to change my friendship team. I forgot I had one on here.
Ad
Whoops.
Astra
That's alright. It's not a complete waste because Eula still needs the friendship XP. That's okay. I don't
Time to
think
scout.
I have anything at the forge, but I'll go check. So yeah, we'll finish up getting Beto a little bit up to snuff, and then next week I guess we'll I might combine the two and just do ley lines both weeks. Bosses excluded, the weekly bosses. No, I didn't. Okay. And do a little bit of story here and there or something like that to break stuff up. I do want to do artifacts, like I said, but I have next week, and then the week after, I believe, would be Dawn Trail. So we will still be doing like our dailies and stuff on here. But I will probably be spending more time on Final Fantasy XIV while the new expansion is out.
Yep, you're right.
No, I want Beto. Weapon. Thingy. Now let's see. Let's do 3 runs and just see how it goes. If I see how far I can ascend it. Because it only needs 2 levels. I'll probably need not necessarily all of the resin I have here, but I am curious. Say we want Geo. Cryo and Geo. Weird. we're going to make sure we do shield first on Diona. Oh, okay, this is fine.
The wind knows me. Fallen leaves adorn my
Crush. Beg for mercy. Shudder.
Okay, there's a reason you're not like.
into the wind.
Sketch.
Now we're gonna have some issues.
Rain cutter.
The wind knows me.
Eye for an eye. Vengeance will be mine.
Did that count me? No, it didn't.
I condemn you.
That's weird. So I'm holding it down. Alright, not bad. I'm holding down the button for Eula to do the thing with her sword, but it wasn't holding down. Hey, one perp. I'll take it. That means we need 2 more purples to at least get it to 70.
You think you can bully me? Can't handle your drink.
Into the wind. As one with wind and cloud.
Know my sword. Witness the power of good. Beg for mercy. Shudder. Flood of frost. Eye for an eye.
I'm gonna start that.
Rain outlines your
Shake it and stir.
time to
Yeah.
Okay.
Into the wind.
know my sword. Body and mind.
So confused. Well, we can make one with that. But I think in total we're gonna need probably 10. Because I think it's 4 and 6, and then to go to 90, it's the gold ones.
Think you can bully me? Look at you, Boozer.
Rain outlines your fate. Rain.
The wind knows me. Fallen leaves adorn my
Freeze to the core. Beg for mercy. I condemn you. More speed. Huh? Let me weave you.
into the wind.
Sketch. Shudder.
Oh, I thought your stuff was up. Alright.
One with nature.
Beg for mercy. Vengeance will be mine. Know my sword. More speed.
This domain feels weird. I don't know why. Again, that might be from going from main to this. Alright, let's do at least one more and then I'll see what we can do. Because if I can get away with either starting artifacts or
Shake it and stir. Diana.
or
Rain
doing
outlines
a little
your
bit of the
fate.
ley lines
Rain
today, that would be cool too.
Into the wind. As one with wind and cloud.
Crush. Shudder. Eye for an eye. to the core. Beg for mercy. Crush. Beg for mercy.
Much better. And we got a perp. Sweet. So that means out of all I got, I only need to craft one for the current ascension. Still would rather go to the Fontaine. Alright, so let's see what we need. So let's grab one. Send. And we throw all this stuff in just to maybe squeeze out into level, save a couple other crystals. Hey, we actually got one level. That's cool. Still takes 76 of the other ones, though. Yeah, I was right. We would have needed 10. And we need these. Okay. So we need 5 of the handguards, which I should have. I've been fighting the samurai when I go out to Inazuma. So let's see if we can get 5 of the purple ones. Pop off, Xingqiu. You did nothing, Xingqiu. Ah, so close. So close. So ideally we need either 2 straight purples or we actually need 6 of the blue ones. So that's not terrible. Not terrible. So we do have to go back. What about the handguards? Let's go find these thingies right here. Oh, jeez. That's it? Seriously? Okay. That makes more sense. Okay. So let's do 12 here. Thank you, Sucrose.
Aristocratic etiquette is all just for show.
And yep, okay. So let's go back to the domain.
Just smile and nod along.
And I like how I was on Beto and didn't select the domain. I'm smart. All right, let's see what we can get.
Can't handle your drink. Huh, no, my sword. Witness the power of Gugwa. Huh?
One with nature. Clouds high. The birds come.
Yeah! Ha! Yeah.
What are you doing, Eula? Huzzah.
Into the
Help,
wind.
please.
Yeah. Huh?
Scratch. Look at you, Boozhound.
Rain outlines your fate. Let me weep.
The wind knows me.
Flood of frost.
I'm gonna save Kazuha's burst.
One with nature.
Shudder. More speed. More
That's about as
speed.
fast as I can go, Eula. That's one. That's one. And I could technically craft the other one. So you know what? That's what we'll do. And then we'll have 3 runs of artifacts because I need to see if I can how my teams fare in that domain because I have not done that yet. the Golden Troop domain. So let's go here. Now, I actually wish I had Alhaitham on this account. I found out that his passive is actually the 10% chance to double the weapon refinement items. That came in quite handy today. There we go. Our weapon is all set. And then we just need 4 golds. And the rest of the stuff. But we'll worry about that later. So yeah, Beto is all set. Now, at the very least, the 2 teams I have set up. Let's cross our fingers that this doesn't take forever and will be nice. Eula, I think Eula's still the best bet here. Yeah, because it's even saying Hydro. So let's try Eula first, see how it goes, and then we can try the Blender team too. The Blender team just might take a little bit longer. Also saying Pyro. We would want Pyro too, so you would trade Freeze for just melting. Which is fine. That's actually not too bad. But let's see. Let's see how... Lower than recommended. Yep. This is where I think Baiju is going to be a lot more viable.
More speed. Think you can bully me? Diana, no, my sword. Rain cutter.
The wind knows me. Fallen leaves adorn my...
Beg for mercy. Shaken and stirred.
Freeze to the core.
Into the wind.
Crush.
Let me weave you a verse.
One with nature.
Shaken and stirred. Can't handle your...
As one with wind and cloud.
Shudder. I condemn you.
I might want to use
Think you
food.
can bully me?
Beg for mercy.
Touché.
Shudder.
Shaken and stirred.
Into the wind.
Crush.
Oh, down, dang it.
Body and mind. Rain cutter.
The wind knows me.
Sketch. Diana special.
Flood of frost. Shudder. Rack and ruin.
Into the wind. Fallen leaves adorn my...
Shaken and stirred. Rain outlines your fate. Let me look at you, Boozle.
Time to go.
Crush.
Oh. This is why I want to kill her
Beg for mercy.
first.
Sketch. Rain outlines your fate.
Okay, the answer is yes, I can do it, but oh my god, that takes forever. Bludger will be better. There's this physical damage. Okay, that would make sense. Like I said, I was just trying to see what the team would do. So. Alright, we did get Golden Troop, which is the set we're after. Which isn't a terrible one. That's actually really not bad. We do want ER on Farina, though. So for this piece here, we're hoping for ER or HP. Or crit rate. I will throw crit rate in there because I'm going to give her Favonius. Defense, yep. Alright, let's back out so we can change the team. Hey, big spender. Dig this blender. Spend some dough at table 3.
At the frying pan.
The wind knows me. As one with wind and cloud.
Mind the side effects. Remember, health this moment will be frozen in time.
Check!
Boba, get them! Hey-ya!
A bitter pill to swallow. Cool it.
That's off. Thank you.
Dodge this. Mind the side effects.
Eat this!
Into the wind.
Cool it. Don't get frostbite. Taking a turn for the better.
Wind strike.
Nice and spicy!
Fallen leaves. Adorn my night. One with nature.
Freeze.
Boba, get them!
A bitter pill to swallow.
Into the wind.
You're toast!
Dodge this.
You know, I am glad I made the decision to give her the Star Glitter.
Seems like an emergency. Freeze.
Nice and spicy!
One with nature.
Oh, so sorry. A bitter pill to swallow.
The wind knows me.
At the frying pan, into the fire!
Look at that. She's almost got her burst back.
Cool it, don't push your luck. Freeze.
Nice
This is
and
almost it.
spicy!
I'm not gonna...
Dodge this. Mind the side effects.
At the frying pan, into the fire!
Okay, it's still long, but it did cut off almost a minute. So yeah, definitely the better team to do this. I might actually level Baiju's normal attack. Yucky. Also yucky. This is what we're in for, people.
Nice and spicy! Hey-ya!
Freeze. This moment will be frozen.
One with nature. Clouds high. The birds come.
Remember, health comes first.
The danger!
Cool it. Freeze.
The wind knows me.
Eat this! At the frying pan, into the fire!
Cool it. Mind the side effects.
Don't get frostbite.
Boba, get them!
A bitter bitter pill to swallow. Tough.
One with nature.
Freeze.
Nice and spicy.
Seems like an emergency.
Chip, chip, sha! As one with wind and cloud.
Cool it. Oh, so sorry.
Wind strider. Sha!
Booba, get them.
Mind the side effects.
Into the wind.
Freeze.
You're toast.
Chip, chip.
A bitter pill to swallow. Taking a turn for the better.
Clouds
Rude.
high. The birds call. One with nature.
Cool it.
Nice and spicy.
Yeah, Blunder was definitely a better choice. All right. Hey, we got an HP Sans. Awesome. So hopefully this will roll ER. We do have an HP Sans for Farina, so that's awesome. Anything we can do? Leylands I'll probably get tomorrow, so that's fine. For furnishings. Could create just some random ones. Oh, that's right. That's right. So tomorrow or Sunday, I will do Ajdaha and a Pev. Gotta remember to do those. But not bad at all. Not bad. Let's check. I didn't really check the 4 stars. Golden Shirt. Yeah. Okay. That at least has HP % on it too. So if this actually really goes south, we could throw that on if it rolls well. We do have a feather. Okay. Defense and no headpiece. So we're still technically missing a 4th piece. Because I'm not putting defense on Farina. That would be silly. Alright. We should be able to get our artifacts. Stock up on these bad boys. Or, hear me out, they haven't spawned yet. Alright, let's go take care of the stuff in the teapot then. I know it was around like 40, 44 or something like that when I had done it. Then again, I said the same thing to myself for my main, and apparently I was like, oh yeah, I went on at like
Would you care to sit
9:30.
down?
Oh, whoops. Well, that was a waste. I gotta take her out of the house. Crate furnishing. Do I have anything? I doubt it. I doubt it, but... Didn't I hit that stuff? Thought I did. Guess I didn't. Lindenwood. All's the Lindenwood. Use the Linden? Yes. Brightwood. Well, we can use some of the ore. So we need Lindenwood and Brightwood, right? I have not gotten either, I don't think. I have not. Okay. I apparently need to go smack some trees. Well, let's see. Let's... I think there's one of these that needs like 6 of those benches. So you know what? 1, 2, 3, 4. The rocks are easy enough to get, right? Okay. Yeah, in this instance, probably the hero's wits and this. Always make sure you have the low-level books. And I'll cap out on that. Mora's easy enough to get. And if push came to shove, I
If you
could
ever
destroy
have
the
any
artifacts to
questions
get them.
about-
To get it. Alright, let's remove Zhengling. And put someone else in. What do we want to put in? So all level 10. Do you have anybody else from Sumeru? We have Farazan. Oh, and Layla. There you go. Carry on a conversation with Layla. Put Layla in the kitchen to make sure she eats something. Yay, that was enough to put us at 22. Give us some ore. Cat. By the way, this is still like the best item in the game. You can pet any cat that's in the house, and I love it. Oh. Okay. Stove. I forgot about this. Flame. I forgot I made flour. All right, let's check it again. It's at 44 now. Let's see. There they be. I don't know what it is about this account specifically, but all my characters want to climb that tree. I don't have that problem when I jump down from my main. It's very, very weird.
The weather is damp and chilly. I I suggest getting indoors to avoid these conditions, if possible.
I don't know what you're talking about, Baiju. It's just a nice spring shower. Poke. And because it's raining, he created a bloom core.
What lovely weather. Which reminds me, we just received a batch of herbs.
Don't worry.
Ignorant.
Mind the side effects.
Out of the frying pan, into the...
Freeze. Into the wind. Don't get frostbite.
Ha, eat this!
Did I scare you? So, one with nature.
The doctor will see you now.
Dodge this. I can still. Let me try. What's the hurry?
What's really going to come in handy if I get Farina. I'm not going to say once I get, because again, if I don't have enough wishes to guarantee her, that, you know, we got that 50-50 to deal with. But if I pair Farina with Baiju, their passives work together very, very well. Because if Farina is over healing from any kind of healing, it heals the others. Baiju, when he picks up plants, if anybody's missing hit points, will heal others. So, yeah. It's actually really nice. I did that on my main earlier. I was like, oh, that's why it's happening. Never occurred to me that it was both their passives going off. Okay, now the question is, are these actually up? Because I think this was the reason I adjusted the time to begin with, because I ran the wrong way the last time. And I'm now actually torn. After playing around with Altatham, I kind of want to pull for his weapon still. Because his weapon could be used on other characters as well. So, I'm kind of wanting to do that. But at the same time, it's like, you'd have to wait for a year to try to get Risley again. Although, much like with the Farina situation, I am on 50-50 on my main. Because we did get Altatham, so...
Another test subject.
Boba, get them!
Suffocate.
Into the wind.
A bitter pill to swallow.
Freeze. What's the hurry?
Out of the frying
Danny
pan,
Boba.
into the fire!
Cool it.
There's no end to this.
Remember,
Oops.
health comes first.
I meant to do Zhangli.
The wind knows me. Done.
I'll have to double check, but I don't think there's any of Kaya's constellations increases the duration of Glacial Waltz.
What's the hurry?
I just realized I know where one of the Geoculus is. It's tied behind a quest that I haven't done. It also has, I believe, a precious chest in it, so I will definitely take a gander at that over the weekend. I just realized I didn't flip to Kazuha for that. Climbed the wall like a chump. Alright, well, the good news is... Alright, I gotta come back for that, too. There's a time trial there. One day. Honestly, I really should run around Sumeru and Inazuma. Since I just started the tree and stuff like that.
Nice and spicy. The doctor will see.
This moment will be frozen in time. Coolest.
Not bad at all. Although when not in combat, it feels like that thing lasts forever. What was with the little Scooby-Doo run there, Kazuha? Okay, I have to grab it.
Into the wind. Time to go. Time to go.
Next stop, Lewin. And then once we get through here, we will start the story quest for Takihito, the one and Oni. I honestly can't stress enough, like, how, I don't want to say important, but how much better it feels to actually do the artifact run. Yeah, it takes about 10 to 15 minutes to do it every day, but you always have artifact XP. It might not be a lot, but if you're not farming artifacts, like you have to use your resin on talent books or weapon ascension,
Time to go.
or heck, you need XP or Mora. You have the XP sitting there ready to go to level some kind of artifact, whether it be just seeing what it rolls into and if you want to trash it, or, you know, just powering it up. You have it. So whoever came up with the idea to do an artifact route, I applaud you. And if I was on Eula, I would be grabbing the the ore as well. But yes, once again, I do need to go into the chasm too. Chilies are up. Not that I really need too many more chilies. Considering the fact how many 4-stars there are on the limited banner, it might be a while till I see Yao Yao. Heck, I didn't get Yao Yao until she was on the rate up for Lantern Rite.
There's no end to this. Another test subject.
At the frying pan, into the fire.
You know what, you take care of him, Guova.
Picked the wrong test subject. Picked the wrong test subject.
Oh, you're still alive. Check my ping when I get out of here. It says it's normal, but I feel more stuttery now than I did when it was over 400.
What's the hurry?
Good, good. 2 more locations to go.
What's the hurry?
No.
Cool it.
Took the words right out of my mouth, kinda. Carrot. Oh, I have the same one up there on my main.
Dodge this.
Help, Goba! Get them!
One with nature. Cool it.
1800 Mora. Not too shabby. All right. Oh, we got 20 more resin. I think we'll hold on to it. I think we'll hold on to it. But let's go to Fontaine just to make sure the kitties don't have a artifact. And they do.
What's the hurry?
See, this is the random part of it. Because sometimes I can get these. Other days I can't. After doing the route.
Being skilled at
There we go.
something doesn't make it a hobby.
I hope I wasn't already capped almost. That would have been a whoopsies. Alright. Welcome back. Now it's story time.
Hi, Catherine. It's us. Was there something we could help with?
Yes. I'm afraid that I have another task that requires your assistance. The Adventurers Guild has recently received a commission directly from the Tenryou Commission. The assignment is both urgent and dangerous.
You had to replace both foot pegs on your bike? Was this bike much of a fixer-upper when you bought it? I know you bought it, like, off of, like, Craigslist or something.
After assessing the assignment, the Guild has concluded that seasoned adventurers are required. Naturally, you came to mind.
Okay.
Just another day on the job for us.
Dangerous, you say?
Allow me to explain. The Tenryou Commission recently issued an arrest warrant for a young Oni by the name of Arataki Ito.
You wore him down. Okay. That makes way more sense. I do remember you, like, trying to fix, like, the headlight or something like that at one point when you first got it. So, you know, it's hearing that you needed more repair. I was just like, oh no, don't tell me it was like 11 all along. But if it was wear and tear from you, that's way different. Whoops, I'm typing in the chat, and that's not what I want to do.
An Oni? You mean those big, tough-looking guys with horns on their heads?
That's correct. This particular Oni is quite vocal and audacious, so he already has quite the reputation on the streets. That said, he has never been caught up in major trouble of any kind. So it came as a surprise to learn that he has recently been accused of stealing things, and sometimes even whisking away the people themselves.
Okay, so mechanically the bike's been great. Overall, I would hope to say that the bike's been great.
But it doesn't end there. When the Tenryou Commission dispatched a Doshin to apprehend him, he assaulted the Doshin before making a getaway with his accomplices.
Sounds like a real ruffian.
So let Paimon guess. It's up to us to bring this Oni in. No problemo. This does sound like a job for the Traveler. He'll be back with that Oni in no time.
I have complete confidence you will succeed. However, please exercise caution. This Oni also happens to hold a vision, and is the leader of an organization known as the Arataki Gang.
He has a gang, but I have Paimon.
On second thought, Paimon will leave the fighting to you. The last place Paimon wants to be is in a gang fight.
No, you're my Pokemon. You fight for me. There were some changes I wanted to make when I first bought it. Didn't like the rear view mirrors. Oh! Did you fix that? Or was that something else that you wanted to do? I do remember something about the blinker. We saw you quite often, like, tinkering with the bikes, but so I can't remember what you did and didn't do.
We are still investigating Arataki Ito's potential motives behind these incidents, as well as his current whereabouts. But please ask around in the streets as well. There will likely be others more familiar with Ito's circumstances than I am, who can provide you with useful information.
Okay, we'll go ask around.
Thank you. I will await your return. Ad Astra Abyssosque.
You fixed it. Okay, blinker, mirror, and windscreen. Ah! Okay, so you made quite a few changes.
Well, let's start asking around on the streets. Hopefully we'll learn a little more about this Arataki Ito guy and figure out where he might have run off to.
Okay, there was one behind me, so let's go grab that. Didn't see him.
Arataki Ito? Yeah, I've heard of the guy. Word is he did something monumentally stupid, then ran off before they could catch him. And to be completely honest, I was a little surprised when I first heard it. Okay, well, I mean, not that surprised.
Wait, you mean he already had a bad reputation?
No, not exactly. He's just very overbearing in everything he does. Big and brash and always making a ruckus. So, on the one hand, he's a larger-than-life kind of guy. But on the other hand, he's emotionally volatile. When he's in a good mood, he's as high as a kite. But when he gets upset, he gets completely enraged.
Okay. I kind of wish they actually had him say what's written in the dialogue. Because they just said that he's the happiest man alive when he's in a good mood, according to what's written here. But they just said he was high as a kite. I don't think that's the phrase they wanted.
I don't personally see him as a bad guy, but I guess I wouldn't put it past him to get all riled up and lose control.
Let's see. Does he have a stable job of any kind?
I'm afraid that I'm not too sure myself. I keep a pretty good eye on what's happening in the city, and as far as I can tell, he just idles the days away.
Why do you keep coughing? Baiju at least has an excuse. What's yours?
When someone asks for it, he's willing to lend a helping hand, but other than that, he's just out making a scene with the kids on the street or his gang. If I had to guess, his lack of income finally drove him to do something more drastic to make ends meet.
Is it just Paimon, or is this Ito fellow starting to sound pretty weird?
I'm afraid that I don't have much else to tell you. He tends to spend his time with people a little more lively than myself. Perhaps you could try asking around some more.
Okay, thanks.
What's the hurry?
Arataki Ito? Oh yeah. I heard about that whole thing. I'm sure it must have been a mix-up on the Tenryo Commission's end. He could never do anything so dastardly.
Huh? How can you be so sure? Is he really as trustworthy as all that?
No, perhaps you misunderstand me. When I said he could never do anything dastardly, I meant he literally doesn't have what it takes.
You mean he's not smart enough?
Maybe a story will explain it better. So, he used to spend a lot of time playing rock, paper, scissors and hide and seek with the kids on the streets. Kids, being kids, aren't exactly the most difficult to outsmart. I'm sure you can see what I'm getting at here. He used to lose all the time, sometimes catastrophically.
On purpose, though, right?
No, not at all. The one time I saw him win, he started jumping around and yelling, "I won! I finally won! I'm unbeatable!" And so on.
What's with that face, Ether?
Then he took the kid's candy as his prize and ate it right there in front of him.
Ugh, that's just plain wrong.
It's so sad. Look, he looks like a wounded puppy.
He did take it way too far that time. The poor kid started crying, so I stepped in and gave Ito a scolding. He was pretty quick to admit that he was fully in the wrong, and it wasn't long before the kid had stopped crying and was laughing and playing again as if nothing had ever happened. In fact, the children quite like playing with him because he's always serious about the stakes and never throws a game on purpose. So, I suppose what I'm trying to say is a guy who can't even beat kids at a children's game really gonna be capable of these kinds of diabolical deeds?
That's not at all what I expected to hear.
Huh. He doesn't sound like a bad guy at all. In fact, he kind of sounds like a man of integrity.
Yes, my thoughts exactly. Still, the Tenryo Commission's evidence against him is supposed to be irrefutable. So, I'm not trying to condone his actions or anything. If he really has messed up big time, then he should face the consequences just like anyone else.
Thanks for the We'll keep asking around.
Arataki Ito. Of course I know him. We've been trying to apprehend him recently. We know he's already left Inazuma City, but with no clues to follow, we have no choice but to commission others for help, including the Adventurers Guild.
Catherine says that Arataki Ito hasn't done anything seriously bad before, so it seems pretty strange. Paimon's curious. Is there any evidence of all this stuff he's accused of?
Yes, of course. Otherwise, we'd never have put so many people on the case. For starters, most thieves will try to devise a way to conceal their identity, but for an Oni, the horns are a dead giveaway. I mean, the whole city could have recognized it was him.
How do you know it wasn't a different Oni?
At first, he was just one of our suspects, but when we went to investigate, he personally confessed to everything and started trying to provoke the officers. What's most frustrating is that he then managed to escape along with his entire gang. He must have been planning the whole thing right from the start.
Did he have a motive?
Of course he did. Whether material or psychological, there is plenty of evidence either way. He's never had a Mora to his name his entire life, and he's never kept down a real job. Word is that he also takes care of someone in his gang, and that the burden of it takes quite the toll on him. After scrounging for a living all these years, maybe he thought that being the bad guy would be an easier ride. As for his psychological motives, it's a bit embarrassing to talk about, but we confiscated his vision during the Vision Hunt Decree.
So he was exacting revenge on the Tenryo Commission?
At the time, Arataki Ito put up quite a fight. It took a huge amount of manpower and resources, and in the end we had to enlist the help of Kujo Sara to finally secure his vision. The Vision Hunt was a mistake, but we never expected that he would go to such extreme lengths to take revenge on us.
He does sound a little unstable, just like people have been saying.
The motives seem valid enough.
If the two of you are able to capture Arataki Ito, please bring him straight here. We'll handle him from there.
Thanks for all the info. Too bad we still don't know where he could have run off to. We already got word on the street, so maybe it's time to talk to a real specialist. Paimon remembers that there's a detective agency here in Inazuma. Maybe we can try asking there.
I'm disappointed that they didn't use Heizo for this.
Hello, we'd like to ask some questions about Arataki Ito.
Oh, him again. Sure. I have answers. We've already done some investigating for the Tenryo Commission. But first, do you have enough Moro to cover the fee? I've heard all about your travels. After everything you've been through, I'm sure you understand the way these sorts of things work.
How much more are we talking about here?
A one-off payment of 397,000 Mora, upfront. Plus a further 5% of your Adventurers Guild remuneration as my commission, if Arataki Ito is successfully caught and brought to justice.
No.
Whoa, that's crazy expensive! How did you even come up with the price that high?
Hold on, I wasn't finished. It just so happens the initial fee has already been paid in full by the Tenryo Commission. All you'll need to pay is the small commission fee. And, as for that amount, I'll settle things with the Adventurers Guild once we have Ito. So, from the way I see it, you guys are getting a pretty nice deal. Now then, to give you the full picture in this case, we must first recount a well-known Inazuman fairy tale.
That scene.
A long, long time ago, in a village lost to time, there lived a Crimson Oni and a Blue Oni. They were the best of friends. The Crimson Oni looked fierce, but was gentle like the humans. The Blue Oni looked human, but was reclusive, like an Oni. The Crimson Oni wished to befriend the humans, but they were scared,
and threw beans at him whenever he came near. So the Blue Oni said to the Crimson Oni,
Akka, I'll cause trouble in the village. You'll come and stop me. Then the humans will accept you.
as planned, the Crimson Oni chased the Blue Oni away. The Crimson Oni's deeds spread throughout the land, and people finally accepted him. But when the Crimson Oni went to tell the Blue Oni the good news, he was gone and left only a letter behind.
I went traveling. Don't come find me or they'll treat you as a naughty little Oni. But don't worry about me. No matter where I go, we'll always be friends.
That's it? What about the little blue Oni? Whatever happened to him?
I suppose the Blue Oni simply disappeared, never to be seen again. Only the Crimson Oni remain now.
But the blue Oni was just an innocent little kid.
Does this story have anything to do with the situation at hand?
Of course it does. Otherwise, I wouldn't go through all the trouble of telling it. One interpretation is that the story is actually broadly based on historical events and that Arataki Itto is, in fact, a descendant of the Crimson Oni. What I'm trying to tell you is that the Oni have sacrificed a lot in the past in order to finally integrate themselves into human society. But there are still some volatile personality traits in the Oni bloodline. Every generation of Oni inherits these traits. So while Arataki Itto has never been known to commit a wrongful act in the past, can we ever completely rule out the possibility of him one day allowing this side of him to take over?
But how could he do that? After the blue Oni's sacrifice? That would be such a betrayal.
That's a very old story. Nobody knows how long it's been since the Blue Oni disappeared. We can only assume that they have long since died out, in which case, it would be quite a stretch to say it still counts as a betrayal at this point. Besides, the suspect has already confessed. What is there left to discuss? According to my investigation, he was headed southwest. I would bet he's already made it to Yashiori Island by now. The Tenryou Commission is unable to enter territory controlled by Sangonomiya troops. No doubt that's the reason Arataki Itto chose to flee in that direction.
I understand. Thanks for all the information.
Don't mention it. I'm just doing my duty.
Wait, Paimon still has a question. If Arataki Itto has given in to his bad side, won't that mean he's extra mean and violent now?
I could only assume so. Judging from his previous bouts, he is a skilled fighter with a lot of brute strength. Whether or not you'll be able to handle him, that I do not know.
Okay, but what's up with people throwing beans at Oni? What use is that?
Ah, yes. Now that you mention it, I seem to recall that Arataki Itto is allergic to beans. In fact, all Oni will avoid beans, but especially Itto. I heard that just touching a bean is enough to incapacitate him. If you could weaken him a bit by triggering his allergies, perhaps you'd have better luck subduing him.
Seems a bit unfair to me.
It's fine. He's the bad guy, remember?
You really wanna... Fine one. Food allergies are no joke.
It just so happens that I have a bag of beans right here. I was planning to use them to make some porridge, but I think you will find a better use for them. Of course, I will charge the Adventurers Guild a fair and reasonable rate for the beans.
Sneaky. But also, thanks. Let's head to Yashiori Island and start looking for Itto.
Please
Give me
speak
them
to
heroes'
President
wits.
Sung.
Let's zoom out a little bit. Meow. Oh, it's... Oh, schnutz. Is this the spot with the lightning? That I haven't cleared out yet?
Cryo is always far more effective in the rain. This is going to get interesting.
Okay, I don't... I remember what quest it is to get rid of this. Because I can't actually open that domain until I get rid of the rain.
According to Detective Sango, Ito should be somewhere around here. Catherine mentioned that he has a vision. What? Look, footprints! Let's see where they lead. There's a camp here, but nothing stands out as particularly noteworthy. Let's keep moving forward. There are more footprints here. He should be just up ahead.
It's like up here, I think, yeah.
Wait, could that be him? Is that Arataki Ito? He doesn't seem to be looking this way. Perfect. Let's try the beans Detective Sango gave us. It'll save a lot of hassle if we can avoid a fight.
I would rather fight Ito, honestly.
Beans!
Okay, as much as I love like Ray Chase as Nouvellette and stuff like that, Ito's voice actor is the best in the game.
Are you okay? What should we do? Paimon didn't think he'd react this badly.
You triggered a food allergy, Paimon.
Don't be alarmed. It's just my my allergies acting up. I've got it under control. It's all right. I got this. I just gotta tough it out. I can take it. I can take it. Who am I kidding? I gotta catch my breath here. Whatever it is you want, it's gonna have to wait. I need a moment. Need a moment. That's better. That sure took a lot out of me, though. Hey, why'd you have to be so mean, huh? Surprise attacking me like that.
There's plenty more beans in the bag. You better come quietly.
Hey, whoa. Take it easy. Just stop with the beans, okay? So you're here to bring me in. How in the world did you find me all the way out here anyway? Well, whatever. If you think I'm going back with you, you can forget it. I'd walk away if I were you. I pack a mean punch, you know. I don't want to hurt any regular folks like you.
And again, either with the best expressions.
That's pretty big talk considering all the beans we have.
You're the one behind the robbery and the missing people, aren't you?
Yep, that's right. Me. All by myself. Nobody else. As boss of the Arataki gang, I gotta nab a little food and drink when we're running low. That's only natural, right?
Yeah, but nabbing people? That's taking it a bit far, don't you think?
Not when their families will pay good Mora to see them again. Easy pickings. And the extra Mora means I can, give some to my gang to spend on themselves.
At least you're honest.
Hey, what's with all the questions? Like I said, I'm not going back with you, so stop wasting everybody's time.
No way, mister! We've accepted a commission to bring you back!
What did you say, little one? Go on. Say it to my face.
Well, mostly he took a commission to bring you back.
Show some backbone, Paimon.
Looks like you aren't gonna let this drop. In that case, we...
Uncle Ito! Don't run now. Careful or you'll fall.
What's taking you so long? You said we were gonna have a beetle fight today. Come on, you promised.
Yeah, that's right. Still going ahead. But you see, I've been out here for ages, and I still can't find a beetle that I like. So, just give Uncle Ito a little more time, okay?
Huh? Who are they? Are they your friends?
Yeah, that's right. I told them not to come, but what can I say? They were just too worried about me. It's because of a little thing called, prestige. Yeah, because of all the prestige Uncle Ito has.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Come on, just play along. Leave the kid out of this.
Uncle Ito, you don't look so good. You look like you're about to fall over.
That's because Uncle Ito bumped his noggin on a tree branch while looking for a beetle. Uh-oh. It's all good, though. These horns are rock solid.
Okay, if you say so. Granny and I will keep heading back now. Don't be too long.
Yep, I'll be right there. Hope you're ready to lose today.
Who were those people?
The old lady was Granny Oni. She's the one who took me in and raised me. And the kid's name is Daisuke. I took him in just a while back. They're both like family to me. They escaped with me out this way, along with my boys from the Arataki gang. If I didn't bring them with me, the Tenryo Commission would be knocking on their doors for sure.
I had no idea you were so caring towards others.
Right. But if you care about them so much, then you shouldn't have done all that stuff that made them worry about you in the first place.
Listen, how about we make a deal? You two let me go wrap things up with Daisuke, and once we're done battling beetles, the two of us will settle things with a duel. If you win, I'll come quietly. You can take me back to Inazuma City, and you won't hear a peep out of me. Why? Because I'm an Oni of my word. I'll just tell little Daisuke that my friends and I need to step outside for a moment. That way you won't worry. Cool?
What should we do? There is the kid to consider.
All right. You have a deal.
Oh, it's on! I like your style. All right, but first things first. I need to find an Oni Kabuto to battle with. I've been looking here for ages and haven't found myself a winner yet, so it's time to try somewhere else. Come with me. Saves you worrying that I might skedaddle.
Yes, an Oculus over there somewhere.
The wind knows me. Time to go.
By the way, Paimon's curious. What kind of game is beetle fighting?
You guys have seen Oni Kabuto out in the wild, right? Even though they might look menacing on the outside, they're big softies on the inside. Most of the time, they're just sitting there doing nothing. But let me tell ya, once the Oni Kabuto start fighting, they won't let anything get in their way. The grand game of beetle fighting is a match where your beetle tries to flip the other beetle onto its back.
I played when I was a kid.
Hey, it's not just some kid's game, okay? There's way more to it than that. I have taken part in more beetle fights than you would believe. At least 800. I may have even crossed the 1,000 mark by this point. Anyway, after a while, you can tell a beetle's fighting potential just by looking at its shape, size, and the patterns on its body. But it's not just about all the physical stuff. Oh no, your Oni Kabuto's got to be in the right headspace as well. If it's not up for a fight or doesn't have the guts, well, then it's game over. Boy, are you two lucky you ran into me. When it comes to beetles, I'm the expert that the experts go to. I'll show you all you need to know.
But we're not the ones that will be playing. We're just here to keep an eye on you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, anyway, not a problem. You two might think I'm just tooting my own horns here, but just you wait. I'll make you a beetle expert in no time. And by the way, that kid has one tough beetle. We can't underestimate it. We have to find a real lean, mean beetle warrior.
Okay, so he's not the sharpest horn on the Oni.
Okay, let me see. There. Let's head to that hill. I'll bet my bottom Mora we're gonna find some major league Oni Kabuto hiding out there.
Uh-oh! Lightning storm!
It's been going on, Paimon?
Just our luck. Well, hopefully that'll scare all the wimpy beetles away and leave the tough ones for us. Oh, darn it, they're all gone. Let's hop down from here and... Look! You see all those purple things? It's a whole pile of Oni Kabuto! Now that's what I'm talking about! Huh? Oh, what the... Aw, no! Not lavender melons! Well, even a pro like myself can make a mistake from time to time. It's okay, just gotta roll with the punches. Let's try somewhere else. This is the one! This is the one! See? As long as you're in my company, you're guaranteed to find yourself an Oni Kabuto.
It's kind of small.
Yeah, it's on the smaller side. But, size isn't everything in a beetle fight.
But you said earlier that size matters.
Just let the expert explain, okay? What smaller beetles lack in strength, they make up for in agility. They usually got a whole bunch of sick moves just ready to whip out when the right moment comes.
Sure, but it doesn't seem to be very energetic, neither.
Listen, you can never see a beetle's true energy until it's in the ring. It might look a bit young and docile, but that's got its advantages. Haven't you ever heard the saying, don't judge a book by its cover? Young beetles that have never fought before always go all out in their first fight. Older beetles that have already been through the wars tend to just cower in the corner the moment they see a strong opponent.
I was hoping we'd catch a larger beetle.
Hey, didn't I say not to worry? Come on, just have a little faith, would ya? My experience is telling me that this Oni Kabuto was spawned to be a champion.
Wait a sec. Where's Paimon?
Right here! Look what Paimon found! If we're gonna battle some beetles, then Paimon wants in! It's not like we have anything else to do. When you hopped down, Paimon flew off somewhere else nearby and found this one! What do you think, Ito? It's big and strong and looks like a real fighter! It matches everything you said about a good fighter, Beetle! Bet the one you guys found must be way bigger.
Oh, you got some experience catching beetles too, huh?
Nope, this is the first one Paimon's ever caught.
Well, looks like you got a real knack for this. You'll be a fellow beetle fighting expert in no time. I mean, not as good as me, but still.
Oh, so overall not that good then.
Anyway, great. With both your beetle and mine, I can tell this'll finally be the one. This time, I'm gonna win for sure.
This'll finally be the one. You never won before?
Well, you know, that's just life, man. There are so many people in this world who are talented, passionate, but it's no guarantee that things will go their way. So many unrelated things have to come together at once in just the right way to make victory happen. There's this word that really sums it up nicely, actually. It's, coincidence.
As in pure luck? Huh. Guess it makes no difference whether we have Paimon's beetle or not then. Might as well just...
Whoa. Let's not do anything rash here, you know?
Didn't you say that younger beetles are fearless?
I think both of these fine beetles have a shot at winning. Let's just hang on to them and give them both a try. A true warrior never leaves a good beetle behind. Anyway, time to head back and get this show started. Man, I am psyched for this. Woo! Let's go!
Wish I had...
Into the wind.
Ah, I bumped my head.
The wind knows me.
There we go. Maybe. Alright, where's the hill? Let me climb.
What's the hurry?
I tried.
Finally, you're back! Can we start our beetle fight now?
In the lightning storm, sure.
Yeah, sure thing, buddy. But you better watch out. I brought a real winner back this time.
Don't worry. I'm not scared of your beetle. Go, Stripey Ghost!
I've got this fight in the bag. Let's go, Nimble Ninja.
Huh? When did you come up with that name?
Come on, you can take him, little guy.
That's right! Finish it!
Oh, no! My little Nimble Ninja!
Ha! Looks like I win again!
Dang it! Oh, it's my 7th loss in a row.
That is a poor track record.
Stripey Ghost is invincible! Even Uncle Ito can't beat him.
I won't forget this. I'll beat you next time, I swear! All right, Paimon, you're up. Time to give Crimson Cyclone a shot. Maybe it'll end this losing streak of mine.
All right, go get him, Crimson Cyclone!
That name caught on quick.
Whoa! That one looks ultra strong. But it's still no match for you, Stripey.
All right, little guy, use your Super Paimon Tornado!
That's a real thing now?
No, I can't believe it. I lost.
Yay! We won! Ha! Paimon knew Crimson Cyclone would be the best!
Boy, did that one put up a fight. Woo! It wiped the floor with Stripey Ghost. I know a real beetle trainer when I see one. Way to kick some beetle butt, partner.
See? Paimon's got real talent. Of course, Crimson Cyclone has to take some of the credit, too.
Why don't we let Daisuke keep Crimson Cyclone?
Oh, right. Yeah, now that the beetle fighting's over and all. This is for you, Daisuke.
Huh? For me? You're really giving it to me?
Go ahead, take it, Daisuke. When we finally get back to the city, you can show it off to all your friends.
But will we ever be able to go back?
Of course we will. Trust me. I never go back on my word. Anyway, I got some things I gotta discuss with my friends here. Go play with Granny for a while, would ya? There's a good boy.
Good. The kid doesn't suspect a thing.
You're from the Tenryou Commission, aren't you? I bet you're here to capture Uncle Ito.
Huh?
Hey, didn't I tell you? They're my friends. In fact, they're in the gang. We're practically family.
That's not true. I already know everyone in your little gang, but I've never seen these two before. Uncle Ito didn't do anything wrong. Don't take him away. And not only did he not do anything wrong, he also saved my life. He's not a bad guy.
Let's try to stay calm.
Hey, some things we don't tell to outsiders, remember? How should I explain? I'm a real lousy liar.
Ito, sometimes you need to just say what you have to say. Don't worry about us.
I guess. Thanks, Granny. Seems I can't hide it anymore. Come with me. I'll explain everything. I'll be honest with you. This thing the Tenryou Commission is investigating, with someone going around taking people and their possessions, it wasn't me. Any of it. I have my own reasons for lying about it, and I really didn't want to get innocent people caught up in this while I'm still trying to solve the real problem here. And the same as you. I just want to avoid conflict at all costs. But it's just not worth it if someone gets hurt.
So why in the world would you say that you're the culprit?
Well, maybe you don't know because you're Outlanders, but it all started a long, long time ago with the story of the Crimson Oni and the Blue Oni.
Hold on a second. If you're talking about that fairy tale, we've heard that one already.
Oh, so you already know. Well, that makes things a whole lot easier.
So, is the story from the fairy tale really true?
Everything about the fate of the Oni is true. The Blue Oni chose exile, and the Crimson Oni stayed behind. But the other details aren't historically accurate. Fairy tales are nice stories, but there's something they leave out. It's a little thing called the cold, hard truth. The Inazuma of long ago was a dangerous place. If you wanted the Raiden Shogun's protection, you had to have a good relationship with the humans. The Oni are a proud kind, so it wasn't easy for them to ask others for acceptance. Over time, the Oni eventually split into two factions. The Crimson Oni were friendly with the humans, but the Blue Oni, they were more stubborn and insisted on keeping to their own.
Paimon thought you were two different species. So really, you're all one family?
Yep, that's right. There's no real difference between us. We just paint our horns different colors to show which side we belong to.
So why did the Blue Oni choose exile themselves?
Because humans were still wary of Oni at the time. The Crimson Oni always hoped to find a way to live in peace with the humans, but the Blue Oni kept clashing with them. Humans didn't see a difference between Crimson and Blue Oni. All they knew was that Oni were hard to get along with. If things were to continue that way, the Oni were never going to get along with humans. And so, the most revered leaders of the Crimson and Blue Oni decided to resolve it once and for all. Over drinks, they swore an oath. The Blue Oni would play the role of evil Oni to help the Crimson Oni integrate into human society. But the Blue Oni's leader gave two conditions.
Huh? What were they?
First, the Oni must abandon any prejudice they held against humanity. Every Oni was to accept humans in their heart before the humans accepted them. Oni were not to use their strength to mistreat humans, but were also not to stand for mistreatment against themselves. Second, the Crimson Oni were to integrate with human society, but not by trying to please the humans. The Oni were to embrace their own honest characters, their surging tempers, and their awesome strength to win respect from the humans. In other words, they were to carry on the Oni bloodline while also protecting our Oni pride.
I see.
After choosing exile, the number of Blue Oni began to dwindle, until eventually, they disappeared altogether. Since I first heard the story of the Blue and Crimson Oni as a kid, I've heard it countless times in my life. Not once did I ever imagine that the Blue Oni clan had actually survived.
So you're saying the real culprit was a descendant of the Blue Oni?
That's right. Most people don't pay attention to the color of an Oni's horns. They probably don't even know that Blue Oni exist. But nothing gets by the Arataki gang. At the scene of the crime, they saw an Oni with different color horns than mine. Still, it'd be strange if the culprit really was a descendant of the Blue Oni. I can't bring myself to accept it.
Because the Blue Oni also value their own pride?
Exactly. They would give up their life before abandoning their pride. I've always respected the Blue Oni for the sacrifice they made. And I know the aspirations my ancestors had for the future of all Oni. Our pride does not allow for any wrongdoing. You don't steal from other people. You don't harm other people, period. My guess is that the Blue Oni was tricked or forced into it somehow. But I don't have any evidence.
So you're trying to buy more time?
That's right. If I didn't step in, the Tenryou Commission would have definitely caught them by now.
But what does Daisuke have to do with any of this? He said that you saved him so he knows your story, right?
He was the one I managed to save from the Ronin after I sent them running from the scene. He was off playing somewhere when they came by and ransacked his house. By the time he came back, his parents had been taken. The whole reason I'm in this is to help this kid find his mom and dad again.
You shouldn't have lied to us.
I never wanted to tell you any of this. My original plan was to knock you both out and take my family to hide somewhere else. There's more to this than just one Blue Oni. There's a dangerous group behind everything that's been going on. I didn't want to get anyone else caught up in this mess. That's everything. The whole story. If you don't believe me and want to drag me back to Inazuma City, then I'm going to fight you with all I've got. But if you're willing to believe me, then please, give me a little time. Once I find the Blue Oni, I'll turn the both of us in.
I will help you.
Yep, Paimon too!
We can't let it be innocent.
here to keep an eye on you.
So, you... all right. I knew you'd be reasonable. I knew it. I was thinking right from the start. These two fine folks, they're just out here in the pursuit of truth and justice, man. We are gonna get along just great. Well, I should tell you, though, things could get a little dangerous, so be ready for anything. Don't say that I didn't warn you.
Don't worry about us. We're seasoned adventurers.
All right, then our first job is to investigate where this blue Oni is hiding out. There's a victim of his that saw him up close, currently taking refuge at Sangonomiya's camp. I figure we can start by talking to him.
The fact that I made it through all that and did not get struck by lightning is amazing. I apparently could have gone to the other one.
Compared
Into the wind.
I cannot find that apparently.
Yo, you must be Masato.
An Oni? Oh no, not another one!
Oh, yeah. Not the one that robbed you, though, so, chill. I contacted you before, remember? I need your help.
Oh, right. Sorry. I'm still a bit on edge after the incident. So anyway, here's what happened. I was just out transporting some goods when a group of Ronin suddenly attacked me. It's not the first time that's happened to me. Usually you just hand over some Mora and they'll leave you alone. At least you don't lose your goods that way. But this time was different. They weren't willing to talk things over. Instead, they took my things and they started coming for me.
Huh? That's totally uncalled for.
I got down on my knees and begged. Said I had a family to care for and that my business is our only livelihood. Then I saw that there was an Oni among the group. I thought he was going to be the one to finish me off. But instead, he stopped the others and told them to let me go.
That's strange.
Yeah, that got them all arguing with each other. His cohort said that I was sure to retaliate if they released me. But the young Oni was insistent that they shouldn't lay a finger on me. Things got real heated. I thought they were gonna come to blows. Luckily, they let me escape with my life in the end. And I scrambled to get myself here, where I'd be safe. I never want to set foot outside of here again.
So he'll steal, but he won't harm people. Seems he has some sort of standards. Did he say why they were robbing you?
Surely it was Mora, right? What else could they have wanted with me? I mean, I can't say for sure. It's not like I asked. But what I did hear them say was, the goods are worth more than the merchant's life. Or something like that.
Ugh, that idiot Oni. Do you have any idea where they went after they robbed you?
I have no clue. But I think they're pretty active in the Tatarasuna area. You aren't gonna go after them, are you? Seriously, I'd advise against it. There are too many of them and they're all heavily armed.
Ah, don't worry. It's just a bunch of no-name scumbags. I got a whole laundry list of scores to settle with them. If these two islands are where they tend to hang around, we're sure to run into them at Nazuchi Beach sooner or later.
Oh, it's all the way over here. Okay. Ah, yes, the spot where I don't have lightning.
They gotta pass through here sometime. Let's just hang tight for a while. If I'm not mistaken, they'll be showing up any time now.
Yeah, things might get a little rough, so we better be prepared. Here they come!
Yeah, there they are. And one of them has horns. All right, it's go time. Let's get him. Looks like you fellas aren't going down without a fight. Fine by me. Let's fight first, talk later. Can't catch me. Bam! Oh, so sorry.
Eat this!
Into the wind. Hey, don't even think about running.
I guess I will stay
It's
behind.
me, Arataki Ito, descendant of the Crimson Oni.
I know who you are. From the day we are born, every blue Oni knows their purpose. We all know our fate is one of self-sacrifice. But what about the Crimson Oni, You don't know anything about us. Not our miserable history, or any of our names. Mine's Takuya, by the way. But you don't even care, do you? Because those who get sacrificed should be forgotten, right?
No, you're wrong. I never knew the Blue Oni had survived to this day, and the moment I found out, I was determined that I would find you. Since you remember the pact between our two factions, I assume you also remember the pride we share as Oni. So my question is, how could a proud Oni like yourself go and abuse the weak and plunder the innocent? Why break the oath that our kind swore all those years ago? Huh? What's so funny?
Who are you to talk about pride and oaths with me? The Blue Oni gave up everything, just so the Crimson Oni could live peacefully in human society. But let me ask you, Arataki Ito, what exactly do you contribute to human society? You're a blundering fool who can't hold down a real job, a laughingstock of the town, and worse still, you let them get your vision during the Vision Hunt decree. Protecting the Oni pride? Ha! You wouldn't know how if you tried. You're a disgrace to the Oni kind.
Hey, come on. None of that stuff's a big deal. I mean, you're really hanging me out to dry here, man.
Since when do you care what other people think? You just do whatever you want. It's not like anyone can stop you. But do you have any idea of the kind of life my kin and I have lived while you've been hanging around in human society? We were cut off from the rest of the world. We severed all contact with it. And since then, we've had no place to live, no stable source of food, no clothing, no medicine, nothing. Besides the oath we swore to uphold in our so-called Oni pride, we had nothing.
So, that's why you joined a band of thieves?
That's right. Why should I accept that life? Is holding fast to a worthless oath supposed to help me provide for my family and friends? I've abandoned our Oni pride. It's meaningless. I want to live. I've given everything that I've stolen from humans to my community. What I've taken will at least keep them from starving and ease their pain. That's what matters most to me.
You don't need to go to such extremes.
Yeah! And besides, the Blue Oni sacrificed themselves so that Oni could be accepted as part of human society. If people see Oni causing trouble again, then that'll defeat the whole purpose of the sacrifice you made!
You make a good point. But Arataki Ito's the one who needs to get that into his thick skull. The Blue Oni are the bad guys, so we're expected to do bad things. Our actions won't tarnish the reputation of the Crimson Oni. Unless, of course, this bonehead decides it'd be a great idea to take all the blame for himself, completely destroying the trust between humans and the Crimson Oni in the process. He's the one that wasted the sacrifice we made.
Huh? Well, I only had to do that because of you. I couldn't just stand back and let the Tenryo Commission drag you away.
You should get your priorities straight. The Blue Oni are history, all right? Forget about us. The Crimson Oni are the ones who must live on. Why couldn't you have just stayed out of this?
There they are! Seize them!
Oh no! It's the Tenryu Commission!
Forget it. This was a waste of time anyway. Look, I don't expect you to understand me, but you could at least take a look in the mirror sometime.
Hey! Hey! Oh, he got away! Uh-oh, we need to get out of here too!
It's too late.
We can't get caught here. Looks like I'm up to bat. Just wait here, and we'll escape together when the time's right. Whatever you do, don't attack any of the Tenryo Commission, or they'll be after you too.
Who goes there?
Let's roll!
Come on, men. He won't get away this time. Just give yourself up, Arataki Ito.
Let's roll!
You cannot match my bravery!
Oh, coming through!
Among Us.
I won't forget this.
Man, they really came out in force today. I'm kind of flattered the Tenryo Commission sent so many. But I still haven't completely recovered from the bean attack earlier. I'm starting to lose my edge here.
Why don't you let us explain the situation to them?
No way. All that would do is send them after our Blue Oni friends instead. But I have to settle things with them first, man to man.
Then what should we do? The Tenryu Commission's about to arrest you!
No choice but to keep kicking some Tenryo butt.
Hey, boss. Thought you'd have all the fun without us?
Granny Oni sent us. We're here to lend a hand.
Maybe we can't take him, but we can sure slow him down. Now's your chance. Go! Hey, I told you to stay out of this one.
Well, we're in it now. Come on, there's no time.
Go! Do what you gotta do, boss.
All right, then. Watch yourselves. Soon as I'm done, I'm coming back for you. Come on, you two. Time to roll!
Don't let them get away! After them!
Hey, you guys want some of this? There's plenty to go around.
Run for it, boss!
Yeah, you guys came well prepared for the Tenryo Commission. Mm-hmm.
As boss of the Arataki gang, getting rescued by my own boys feels pretty humiliating. I promise to never let you down, boys. All right, we've got some footprints to follow. Let's find Takuya.
It was real touching and all what they did, but those few guys weren't much of a...
Huh. Wait, is it just me, or are there more and more footprints here? At least we know we're headed the right way. Let's see what else we can find ahead. A wrecked cart and some goods. Look alive, we've got company.
Freeze! Mind the side effect.
Seems they definitely don't want us going any further. Let's see what's waiting for us up ahead. Huh. Besides the footprints, there are other signs of life here too. Must be plenty going on around here. Let's investigate. They couldn't have just disappeared into thin air. Yeah, unless they're all ninjas or something. Hidden entrance, yes! Alright, I think we just found their hideout. This is gonna be where they keep all the people they took.
Paimon thinks Takuya's probably in there as well.
Before we go in, I have a question.
Huh? Fire away?
Did you really understand where Takuya was coming from?
Of course I did. Come on, I'm not that dumb. But it takes a world-class blockhead like Takuya to think his ideas are actually gonna work. So I'm here to save him no matter what.
Alright, that's good to hear.
Huh? What were you two talking about? Are you keeping Paimon in the dark again?
Let's go.
It says it wants Geo. It should let us use Ito, so that's fine. Yeah, we'll keep the blender team.
Whoa! This place is huge! Pretty fancy for a hideout!
All acquired by less than legitimate means, no doubt. And all the more reason we gotta put an end to this.
Of course, we take a quick look around just to see if there's any treasure boxes.
Stairs are over there! We can't go up if we can't reach them!
No problemo. That'll be what this mechanism's for.
Into the wind.
Can I get behind this? Yes, but there's nothing there.
Oh, it's moving!
See? What did I tell you? Just trust my instincts.
His instincts were to fall down the gap.
Can't catch me.
Oh, that just did that. Is there anything else I need?
The wind knows me.
I'm the frying pan, it's
Dodge this!
Nice. That off. be easy. And remember to jump.
Look at all the people locked up in here.
He must be holding on to them for leverage. All right, let's get him out of here. Let's roll! How's this? Through the berry.
All right, you're all free to go now. Quick, get to safety.
Sorry, but have you seen our little boy? We're awfully worried about him.
Calm down, dear. We don't even know if he was taken here or not.
Oh, my little Daisuke!
Oh, you must be Daisuke's parents.
Yes, that's right. Have you seen him? Where is he? Is he all right?
Don't worry, he's safe and sound. Someone's looking after him now on Yashiori Island. I can show you where on the map. He's been worried about you. I bet he'll be relieved to see you.
You were the one who saved him? Oh, thank you, thank you!
He's the one you should be thanking.
No, please, no. No need to thank me. It's my pleasure, really. It's just who I am. It's what I do.
The floating demon face in the background. I think that was from Ito, actually, but...
Before you go calling me a hero, let me ask you this. Wouldn't any other self-respecting guy who saw another person in danger have done the exact same thing?
Really? Just one little compliment and it goes straight to his head.
Why do they see so many people?
These vagrants are insatiable. They'll do anything for money. No one dares stand up to them for fear of what they might do.
Well, would they really do anything drastic?
No, actually, because one of the guys, the one with Oni horns on his head, has always shielded us so far. Oh, in fact, his horns look just like the ones this guy has.
At night, he would secretly bring us food and water. I don't understand what he was trying to do. Are you a friend of his? Or perhaps a relative?
Relative, I guess.
Oh, maybe there's something secretly troubling him. He seemed different from the rest of the gang. They seem like heartless crooks, but I'd say he comes across more like a confused child who made some poor choices.
Let me put it this way. There are a few things he needs to straighten out in his head, and I'm here to point him in the right direction.
I'm glad to hear that. He's lucky to have family like you.
Don't worry. He'll be in my trusty hands. I'll help him see the light. Anyway, you should scram. It's still not safe here.
Yes, thanks again. You've rescued our entire family. We are indebted to you.
Huh. A child that made some poor choices. Anyway, let's get going, while we still have time. Can't catch me! This is the place. The jig's up! Surrender while you can!
Fallen leaves, adorn my...
To the fairy.
The doctor was in.
Alright, really all we need is Kazan and Jiggling.
So naive. This is my home turf. I'll let you in on a little secret. A long time ago, I picked up this rare paper charm. It's very precious to me. What makes it so special is that if you tear one piece, the other piece starts tearing too.
Newsflash, don't care about your cute little origami obsession.
You better stay where you are and let me finish.
Aren't you curious what the other piece is used for? I'll tell you. It's now the critical component of the mechanism, and when it gets torn, this place goes up in smoke. Yeah, the whole hideout is rigged with explosives and ready to blow.
What? You're gonna blow this whole place up?
You get yourself killed too.
Oh, don't worry about me. I made sure that I've got an escape route. The rest of you, though, you're gonna be buried deep among the rubble. You've had your fun. Now it's goodbye. My paper charm! Where's my paper charm?
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you looking for this?
Yes, that's it. But when did you...
I snatched it earlier, to stop you from doing anything hasty.
Why, you... And now you're going to betray me?
You're one to talk. What about burying everyone here? If you ask me, that sounds like you've already betrayed our agreement, no?
Just give it here!
You done talking now? Huh? You sure? Great, because I'm done listening! Yeah! Great work, Takuya. You arrived in the nick of time.
Stay away from me!
Huh?
I said stay away, or I'll tear the paper charm!
Hey, oh, okay, fine. Just calm down. What are you doing?
Just because I won't let him blow this place to bits doesn't mean that I won't do it myself. Unless you want to get buried, you should leave this place now. Take everyone here and get out!
You won't go through with it. If you were that cruel, then why bother protecting every person you've come across? Huh?
I'm not here to reason with you. Go! Just get out of here! This sacrifice is mine to make. Mine alone! Why couldn't you just stay out of it?
No one needs to sacrifice themselves.
All right, then you tell me. What am I supposed to do? I've tarnished our Oni pride and abandoned our ancestors' oath. Only sacrifice can restore my pride now. I chose this path so I could provide for my fellow Oni. I was ready to die from the very beginning. This is between us Blue Oni. But you... If it wasn't for you, everything would have worked out perfectly!
They're here! We won't let them slip away this time!
Uh-oh! There's nowhere else to run!
Hey, Tenryo Commission! I'm the one you're looking for! I did it! I'm behind everything! Arataki Ito is innocent! You're the ones in charge of detaining criminals in human society, right? I'm sure you can tell who the criminal is here.
Huh? It's like he's trying to reenact the fairy tale, sacrificing himself for the Crimson Oni!
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. It's me you've been looking for, and here I am! How are you ever gonna report back without capturing me?
Stop fooling around, Ito!
Listen, Takuya, sacrificing yourself won't solve anything. Your sacrifice can't protect me or your fellow Oni, and giving up your life isn't gonna make theirs any longer. Sacrificing yourself is one way to escape your fate, but the only one you'll be setting free is yourself. Listen to me. You want to be the tough guy? Huh? Well, this is the coward's way out. Don't let your sacrifice stain our Oni pride. The Blue Oni have been scraping the bottom of the barrel all these years, so let's give them a new beginning. We've made mistakes, but we can make up for them. Fate hasn't been kind to the Oni? Well then let's tear it up and start over. But before any of that can happen, you need to get yourself behind me and forget about all that self-sacrifice stuff. Now let's go. But we're not done talking about this. Takuya! I'll take care of this. There are still people in danger. Go, help them!
What?
Hey, I got this.
Come on!
being in the
Just
Genshin
go!
anime.
It's what I deserve!
Ah, shut up, would ya?
We managed to save everyone! But what about Ito and Takuya? Paimon hopes they're alright.
Let's wait a little longer.
Look! It's Ito and Takuya!
That's gonna hurt tomorrow. What's up with the looks on your faces? I said we'd be okay, didn't I? I'm sure I'd be looking a whole lot sharper right now if it wasn't for that brutal bean attack of yours earlier.
I'm just happy you made it out alive.
Why? Why would you do this for me? I'm the guilty one here. I don't deserve this.
Because we're Oni, that's why. We share the same blood, brother. Our parents and their parents before them never taught us that it was okay to abandon family in need. I just wish you'd come to find me sooner. If you knew about me all along, then you should have come and asked me for help. I never would have dreamed of turning you away.
The Blue Oni disappeared so that they wouldn't bring trouble to the Crimson Oni. If I came to you for help, wouldn't that just undo everything the Blue Oni have done?
Not to me. I've always respected the Blue Oni for their sacrifice. Nothing they did was in vain. It's only because of them that we have survived to see today, and built a world where Oni and humans can live side by side. Honestly, everything that I have now, I owe to the Blue Oni. And let me tell you, the Inazuma of today wouldn't see you as a villain just because of the color of your horns.
You say all that, but in spite of everything, you're barely getting by.
That's just how I roll, man. You remember the pact, don't you? We're not supposed to suck up to the humans. We're supposed to earn their respect. Every member of the Arataki gangs had a tough time trying to fit in. Take Akira, for example. He snores like you wouldn't believe. Or Genta. He's got a serious temper problem. And Mamoru, well, he's colorblind. Even Granny Oni. She got that name for taking me in as a kid. We're all rejects and outcasts in some way, but we don't care. You want to talk about pride? Well, in our gang, we're proud to welcome anyone who's been through adversity with open arms.
But
don't worry. The Arataki gang's already a bunch of misfits. You really think you could cramp our style?
We've dealt with the Kairagi and the people they took captive. I assume the two of you are finished talking. Takuya, based on the findings of our investigation, I hereby announce that you are officially under arrest for forceful seizure of people and property. Please do not attempt to resist. All stolen articles will be reclaimed. That means we'll be seizing all the goods you passed on to your kin.
no, please don't. Without those goods, they'll...
It's all right, Takuya. Those goods never belonged to us anyway. Don't worry. I'll help take care of your kin. Now that I know the situation, I'll personally make sure they never suffer again.
Might want to put your grand plans on hold there. You're under arrest too, for numerous assaults on the Tenryou Commission officers.
Oh, yeah, I guess I forgot about that. But no worries, I'll put my gang on the case. My boys will take good care of the Blue Oni.
Yeah, we've already arrested them too.
Oh, right, yeah,
That's what they get for resisting the Tenryou Commission.
Yeah, I guess it's up to you then, Traveler. Could you be a pal and tell Granny Oni about the Blue Oni situation?
Sure. I'll tell her everything.
Thanks. And thanks for sticking with me to the end. Once I'm out of the slammer, I'll find a way to make it all up to ya.
As for you two, lending them your aid when you knew full well they were in the wrong means that the culpability extends to you too. But, given your unique circumstances, and in light of the complexity of this case, we won't press charges this time.
Sorry, for the trouble.
Hey, wait. Are unique circumstances? Are these guys like a big deal or something?
Nope, it's nothing like that.
Oh, yeah, okay. Cool. Because I was gonna say, like, I'm kind of a big deal myself, you know? Yeah, all right, see you next time. Whenever that'll be.
Alright, we gotta
Well,
go.
he's
Oops. Well, I interrupted Paimon.
weird. But at least he's not a bad guy.
I kind of broke the game for a second.
The weather is damp and chilly. I suggest getting indoors to avoid these conditions, if possible.
We're almost there. Oh, it's the. Oh, I think I know what the quest is to get rid of the lightning. So when I'm thinking of it, it should also connect to the
Yes,
Catan.
that does sound like my Ito.
So, did they take Uncle Ito away? Yes, they did. But don't be too upset, Daisuke. We will have the chance to see him again. He and his gang may have acted recklessly, but the fact remains that he still helped us. Yeah, I knew it! Uncle Ito helped us, and he's awesome!
Now, don't get any ideas, Daisuke. Ito is a far cry from awesome. He still caused a lot of trouble for a lot of people. If you ask me, I'd say he's like one of those little Oni Kabuto you kids are playing with all the time. Though he looks fierce on the outside, he has a kind heart. He's not a delinquent, but he'll never back down from a fight.
I don't really get it, but it sounds like a compliment. I can't wait for my next beetle fight with Uncle Ito.
Thank you, Granny, for taking care of our little boy. I hope that Ito and his friends will be released as quickly as possible.
Yes, you needn't worry. The officials in the Tenryo Commission will certainly exercise sound judgment.
It's time we started heading back. We'll be sure to visit again soon.
Ah, I'm glad that everything was resolved in the end. Things were looking quite dire, but now the future looks bright. Wonderful, wonderful. As for the Blue Oni, just leave them to me. If there's one thing an old granny like myself can do, it's caring for others.
Do you need our help?
No. Go on ahead. I'm sure you have other adventures beckoning. Besides, once Ito is released, he'll be here to help me.
Is he always like this?
Oh, yes. And you know what? I think that's what makes him adorable. Wouldn't you agree? He does whatever he puts his mind to. He's sincere, brave, and determined. Back when I took him in, everyone thought I was most unusual indeed. They started calling me Granny Oni. But I've never been ashamed of this name. On the contrary, I'm quite proud of it. Because Ito is my pride and joy.
A long, long time ago, in a village lost to time, there lived a crimson Oni and a blue Oni. They were the best of friends. The crimson Oni wanted to be friends with the humans, so the blue Oni played the role of the naughty kid. And then he left. After a long time, the crimson Oni was living happily with the humans, but in his heart, he wanted to bring the blue Oni back home. The crimson Oni didn't know where to find the Blue Oni. His search took him up the highest mountains and across the widest rivers. He found many traces of the Blue Oni, but the more he found, the clearer it became. The Blue Oni was hiding on purpose. So just as the Blue Oni had once done, the Crimson Oni left him a letter.
Dear Al, I've made lots of human friends now, and I want to have a big party for everyone. I want all my friends to be there. That means you too, Al. If you don't want to meet me, you can just watch from a distance.
The Blue Oni snuck back to the village and hid in the shadows. He saw the great feast and roaring fire and longed to join in. But though his stomach rumbled, the Blue Oni remembered the oath of old and kept his distance. Suddenly, he jumped. The Crimson Oni was right behind him.
Hey, you're finally back. Come on, I'll introduce you. It's time everyone met my best friend.
Hey, Traveler! Remember that pit at the bottom of the chasm? You know, the one that the giant pillar smashed into. Paimon took a quick peek before we left last time. There was some kind of light coming from inside. Don't you think that's a little strange? Oh, so you've been wondering about that too, huh? Now that we have some time on our hands, let's go and take another look.
Alright. So, as we heard Paimon's dialogue, that means we can now do Perilous Trail. So that, I'll try to do that sometime next week. That's going to be another one of those long streams, because I don't want to break the immersion from it. But I am actually glad we can actually do that now. I enjoyed the story for that quest. And why don't we, to wrap things up, we'll do one more run. For this domain. And as I said before, even if I don't get Farina, the Golden Troop set specifically is good for quite a few people. So, it's not all going to waste.
At the frying pan, into the fire!
Cool it! This moment will be frozen. One with nature.
Seems like an emergency. A bitter pill to swallow.
The doctor will see you.
Freeze! The wind knows me.
Boba, get them! Eat this!
Clouds high. The birds call. One with nature. Dodge this!
A bitter pill to swallow.
Cool it!
At the frying pan, into the fire!
Oh, so sorry. It's fire.
Mind the side effect.
Dodge this! The wind knows me.
A bitter pill to swallow.
Freeze! Into the wind. As one with wind and cloud.
Remember, health comes first. Mind the side effect.
Boba, get them!
This moment will be frozen in time.
Eat this!
A bitter pill to swallow.
Dodge this!
At the frying pan, into the fire!
Cool it!
Mind the side effects. Taking a turn for the better.
One with nature.
Boba, get them!
knows me.
Yep, this team is still the best one I have for this. Nope, didn't get golden true. Although we can hold on to that for whenever I get pulled Nouvellette. That rolls crit damage. Chef's kiss. Not even 4 stars? Really? Who? Alright, do I have anything to toss in the strong box? Let's go back to Fontaine. Strong box, and we're gonna take Blizzard Strayer. That's Garbo. I think the answer's gonna be no. Now, the good thing about the energy recharge here, or HP Sans, like, you see this has 2 dead stats and stuff like that. Potentially, I could use this as an offset piece. Yeah, I'm gonna say that's garbage. Alright, is there anything worse than that? You know what? Yeah, that flower. That flower is pretty bad. Alright, let's see if we can get a headpiece or a goblet. Or Sans. Please. Goblet, cryo. I should know better. I should really know better than to actually ask for an elemental goblet on set. Yep. Alright. So that's going to do it for me today. We now have the interlude quest open, so we will do that sometime next week. It won't be Monday, I know that. But I'll pick a day and we'll go through it, get a wish from it to add to our lovely pile of wishes here. My stuff from today actually didn't net me a wish. That's interesting. Can't remember the last time that happened. But we're at 27 pulls for Farina right now, and we're at 0 pity, so we have a long ways to go. But we do have almost 10 star glitter to add to that too. So 2 wishes. And 11 days left, so plenty of time to farm. Stop that
enough to convince anyone to.
How did I hit both? So yes, next week in terms of leveling the characters and stuff, we're going to be farming some ley lines. I might mix it up depending on what our situation looks like as it is right now. 2.6 mil still, and we're back up to 26 books. So books definitely will be a priority. So I could do one day do half and half for the ley lines, and the next day do like half resin goes to the ley lines, half goes to the artifact domain. Because again, this is also helping Kaya out as well, because he's still rocking that 3-star headpiece. And if it wasn't part of the Berserker set, I would just give him an offset piece. But right now, he just needs the Berserker for that sweet, sweet crit rate. And then after that, like I said, the following week after that, I believe can I check the calendar? I don't think I can. Nope, can't check the calendar on my other monitor. That's funny. But yeah, I believe the following week would be Dawn Trail. So there is a 48-hour maintenance before the 28th. So don't worry about Genshin on that. But on the 28th, I will be going on to Final Fantasy 14. Probably doing Genshin potentially first. So I either, like with the artifact route, I'll reset it so we can do it in the morning, or I could do. The only reason I don't want to do Dawn Trail first and then go into 14 is on the off chance we have an Endwalker cube problem. Granted, we don't have the exiles from, or rather, the refugees, exiles, the refugees from WoW, coming in this time around. But there is a possibility that it's going to be like, oh, you have 800 people in queue. It's going to take 2 hours for you to get into the game. And then, log out because, I have to switch games and stuff like that and then take forever to log back in. So I gotta plan that out. So the original setup, if Beto was going to be leveled next week, the following week would have just been Leylands anyway. So we probably will still farm materials. I do want to try to get through some more story stuff, like the Archon quests and whatnot, because again, Farina will come out when Dawn Trail does. And we gotta make sure we can get some Primo Gems. So more than likely I'll have to farm some stuff off stream, which is fine, to really, really hope we can get her. So yeah, I mean, honestly, almost 60 days of the account on stream. Obviously, there's been a few more off-stream days that we've done stuff. I think the account's actually in a good place. The characters are definitely not as sporadic in terms of of being leveled and stuff like that. I do have a more focus on what I want. Certain characters, like Charlotte, started getting levels at one point, because that's what my husband wanted for the Abyss, to go with Eula. And so Diona would go with Kaya. And it turns out I did pull Mika. Is Mika the best? No. By no means. But apparently the buff he provides, when my husband was testing out the team and stuff like that, at Mika at level 20, mind you, he actually noticed quite a bit. So out of the two, it feels like that Mika might be better than using Charlotte, because Charlotte is just a healer, as far as I'm aware. But so Mika's going to go on the will level up soon kind of situation. And he's going to be outside of Farina. Like, he is the only other one that I would even consider leveling right now. And then basically what I would like to do, after doing that, Layla is also one of the ones I would like to do just because her shield is really, really good. So I could do like her as the shielder, do double cryo, and have Bennett as a healer. So that means another character needing to be level 2, but you could do something like that. Considering that cryo doesn't really do anything with Dendro. It needs to. I'm sorry. Hoyo, come on. But at that point, that's 3 to 4 characters that potentially can be leveled. And we'll definitely need some resources. But Farina and Mika are the two that I'm looking at. And once they hit like level 80, I will want to go through and start doing the boss rush to get all their materials. So that way we can up our world. We don't have to worry about our core team, or at the very least one team, which would probably be the Eula team, if I'm being honest, going to 90. So we would need Mabukenki. But you are the cryo, right? The cryo cube. You would get changed out. So Diona would be the only one that wouldn't be going anywhere. She's going to stay at 80 for now. And the Oceanid. This time, at least we have Beto. I don't know how Beto's going to work with the Oceanid. Those birds. I hate those birds. Yeah, everything is looking pretty good. Pretty good. I think the account is getting there. It's definitely hitting that point where I need to think about certain characters of which to pull and who to level. And And kind of being a little bit more picky with the artifacts. Right now, everyone has their main stat that they would like and can function for the most part. The upgrade, again, I'll sing the praise to this. Me upgrading to this to get the ER has helped so much. So I will definitely want to do the catch at some point, as well as the pipe. Because here's the thing with the pipe. Not only is it good for Farina, apparently it's actually really good for Kaya. However, when Ayaka gets her rerun, another rerun, or if there's an Inazuma Chronicle Wish, I'm gonna go for the Mist Splitter. And that's the other thing too. I need to start thinking about those kind of weapons because we don't have any 5-star weapons. And they do help. They do help. Standard banner, you know, you take what you can get. I kind of hope like I can get the Jade Spear. That's not going to really help Zhengling. If I'm being totally honest, it's not really going to help Zhengling. But, you know, if I can get enough ER stacked on her other pieces, heck yeah, I'll take a crit rate weapon. But I wouldn't mind that. I don't know about... I think Aquila was for a physical Kaya build. But, like, if I somehow randomly got Wolf's Gravestone, like I did on my main, if I stack enough ER, I could put it on Beto. So, because that actually is a good question. I don't know if I mean, raw damage it would be. If the attack would outweigh the physical damage percentage that Yule is using right now. Not 100% sure. Math is not my strong suit. So, all that said, I am pleased with the progress that I've made here. And just learning from my mistakes that I made on my main. And I still continue to make on my main. Because it's just like, oh, you know, I have BP Welkin. So low budget spender, but I get so much more resources from the battle pass. I get so many more opportunities to wish. And stuff like that. Like, I'm still now having to pick and choose who I want, because I'm not going to top up or anything. Honestly, the only one I would top up for is Nuvolette, because he is my favorite, he is my main. And there's a part of me on my main that wants to go, I kind of want to save everything I've got. So you got to keep in mind, this would be like a year, potentially. Unless Nuvolette counts as the Archon. Now, I'm not going to say why that is. Not going to say why. Because this whole point, like, I've been trying not to spoil nothing in terms of story. But that's one of the only things I want to say, is that in terms of pattern, like, a lot of players have talked about patterns on how people have been released and stuff like that, like when they got their reruns. For example, Zhongli, the Geo Archon, got reruns in 3.0 and 4.0. So stands to reason that in 5.0, we will see Zhongli again. In which case, on this account, I would roll for him. 100% I would. And it's like on the 0.2? Yeah, because 4.1 was Nuvolette and Risley, and then 4.2 was Farina. Then on like the 0.2s on the release, and then 0.6, I believe, were the reruns of other Archons like Nikita and stuff like that. But 4.6 was Nuvolette and not Farina. So kind of confused if the pattern were to be true. So take that with a grain of salt. But part of me wants to just save on my main for Nuvolette stuff, because I would love to get his signature weapon and all of his constellations at some point. And if I'm not going to spend money, I need to just save. Well, what about new characters? Luck of the draw at that point. Unless somebody really catches my eye, that's kind of the way I feel. So having a second account where I can roll for other characters and stuff like that is a good thing. And on this account, I really would like all the Archons. Honestly, on my main I would too, but I think the only one on my main that I wouldn't grab right away anyway is Venti. And it's just because I have Sucrose leveled on my main. So I do have 2 groupers if I need them. In terms of 4 stars, I think the only 2 I really want in terms of 4-star, I'll throw a third one in there just to say top 3. Rosaria. That way we can up our crit even more. Fischl for off-field Electro. And Kuki Shinobu. Because she is actually a decent healer. I hate the fact that she takes like her hit points to do it, but she is a decent healer. Huh. Yeah, our roster's gotten better. We actually have a scroll bar now. But yeah, it doesn't feel like there's a lot of variety that I have right now, but that's okay. Traveler. Traveler is the other one that we will have to work on at some point. Because Dendro Traveler, very good. In terms of what the Traveler can do. I actually really like Dendro Traveler. But anyway, that's going to be it for me. I will see you guys all on Monday. I will probably be live in the morning with the main and then come back after lunch for our normal second stream. We will do our Material Monday grind, as always. Fight on my boss, because I'm going to fight the other 2 off stream. And then sometime in the middle of the week, like I said, we'll do the interlude quest. But that's it for me. I will see you all the next time. Till then, take care.